Felicitations, malefactors! And hello and welcome back to another live edition of Preps Sports Plus. I'm hoping no one knocks on the door and asks why I just yelled that really loud. I've got headphones on, so it's quieter in my ears, but I feel like that came out to the wider world very loud. I hope it came out loud to you listening on the stream as well, or listening back wherever you are at home, whatever day it may be. We are back. We are in the midst of the early August doldrums of the in between sports seasons. Myself and Andy Krutzinger. I'm already kind of like itching to get back into it. Like, we haven't had a ton of live events. I was at state softball a couple of weeks ago. Haven't been in anything since. Luckily, we will have girls tennis to now sort of bridge that gap, leading into a continuation of girls tennis on top of volleyball and football, which we're going to talk about in the B block. Another kind of look ahead, build the hype toward the fall. But just because we don't have any live sporting events to cover, Andy, doesn't mean there is not stuff to talk about. We've still been filling the paper with some off-season coded content. We just dropped our photos of the year, which Andy put together. So we got a 3-page spread of the best photos from the Union area 2025-26 school year. So go check that out. Almost a little magazine-y for you in the off season, but magazine-y, I don't think that's an official word. We will also have, of course, some fall sports magazines if you're in the Washington and Fairfield area coming out. So keep an eye out for those. But we still had some things happening. We have some fall sports to preview in the B block. And Andy, I'm going to throw it at you first because we've had some interesting events, some things going on. But I want to ask you about a feature off the top about one of our former athletes who you covered, Mr. Cooper Schulte of New London, who is now in the farm system for our Major League Baseball club. And you talked to him after he got drafted to the Mets. I would love to hear about that story, about talking to him, your conversation, and what you learned. How excited is he for his Major League Baseball career, going from New London to New York? A very lateral jump, I might say.
It is. It's probably exactly. Wonder what they are, east and west. Well, right now he's not in New York. He is in St. Lucie. No, that is in New York. St. Louis, Florida, right? St. Lucie's in
Is it like
Florida.
St. Lucia?
Lucia? St. Lucia?
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Lucie. Look it up. So yeah, I talked to Mr. Schulte, who one of two area graduates from the same year, from 2022. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2. Him and Nate Smithberg of Fairfield. I talked to him last week. He was already down in Florida, so the New York Mets picked him number 600. You heard of Mr. 300. He's Mr. 600. How did I end up leaning back so far while I was talking about this? In the MLB draft, round number 20, the final round. So he shared a great story. So Cooper has said, first off, Cooper Schulte was a great New London player. Played a bunch of sports, but baseball was always his big time sport. And he was part of the New London baseball team that went to state 2 times in a row. Probably could have won 2 state championships. Did win 1 state championship. First year they got robbed by a couple of questionable calls. You can go back into the depths of the Southeast Iowa Union to remember what happened there, but I remember a balk and like a couple crazy things happened in that game in the quarters, and I think that team won.
It wasn't a balk off, was it? A balk off?
No, it wasn't a balk off. It was man. So this was Cooper's junior year, and this honestly, the New London team his junior was just as good as the one his senior year. And I seem to remember one, there was a balk on maybe a pickoff. Maybe New London picked a guy off and then they called a balk or something like that. And then I remember there being like a couple of runs that New London scored, and then they called like runners interference. It was crazy. It was a crazy situation. I think I mentioned it in the newspaper, which journalistic integrity says that it has to be extremely egregious to even get a mention in the newspaper. Obviously, we'd never write a story that was like, wow, the refs screwed up.
Bashing the refs.
So it was bad. If there was any mention of officiating, it has to be at a certain level. But then the next year, he not only won the state tournament with New London, but he was on the mound. He was the shortstop and closing pitcher. He's on the mound, bases loaded, up one, 2 outs. Sorry, 1 out, and fielded a bouncer. I actually famously tweeted out because Hunter Moeller was there live. I think I'd covered him in the first round. I famously tweeted out right before it happened. Uh, New London could really use a dribbler to the mound right here, and the very next pitch was a bouncer right to Cooper for
There you
a
go.
home to first double play. Got a lot of props on that, and New London's first ever baseball championship. Anyway, I talked to him. He said he told the story of his agent had told him he was going. They're like, people are talking about you. I think you're going the 9th or the 10th. And so he sat around with his family and watched, and that's a long time from the 9th or the 10th to the 20th. And so before the 20th round, he had actually uh, just didn't want to be sitting near the TV anymore, not hearing his name. So he was fishing when he was drafted. He went
Nice.
fishing. He got a call from his agent that was like, "Hey, it seems like after the draft is done, the White Sox are going to see if they want to sign you because you get calls before the draft is over from teams that are like, "Hey, you worked out for us. We'd like to sign you undrafted." And so he was coming back to tell his parents that the White Sox were going to talk to him after the draft. And then with 16, I think 16 picks left, then his agent called him again. He's like, "Whoa, wait a minute. The Mets actually just said they're going to take you here at number 600." So Cooper has been playing a ton of baseball. He went to SCC at first, where his dad coached. He went to then he went to Iowa, playing very well at Iowa. He's at the top of the lineup. He's playing shortstop. I think he led them in RBIs, doubles, and homers. Maybe a lot of the power things, but he was definitely an on base guy. But he got very good at hitting for a little more power. Very speedy kid, and he actually played. So at the end of his junior year, uh, they didn't do as well as they had hoped. They had a good team and they got knocked out early in the Big Ten tournament. And I think it was like the very next night he went home and started playing for the Burlington Bees in the Prospect League, and he played the very first night, which the season started like the day after
Wow.
the
And no
and
break.
no break, and he went 5 for 5. He hit for the cycle.
Wow.
And from that point on, he's been playing pretty much perfect baseball. Actually, his longtime girlfriend was and her sister were on my co-ed softball team. So I was, if he didn't get drafted, he could have ended up being an average Joe. And but luckily, he he's a Met right now. He's at St. Louis. So the New York farm system is a lot of Florida and a lot of New York. All Florida and New York.
Yeah, St. Lucie is in Florida, to
Florida,
clarify.
yeah. And for so Nate Smithberg got drafted by the Rays. They're in Florida, and I think I looked all this up to figure out where the heck they're gonna be, because they could be playing against each other or in different leagues or whatever. It's when you're I've talked to a few guys who are in this situation where you're a young minor leaguer. You never know when you're gonna get a call and be like, you know, get your butt to New York,
Yeah.
or get over to this other place in Florida. We need you here, and you know. So crazy stuff. Hopefully, I mean, we already have Keaton Wynn with the Giants. What if we end up with 3 major leaguers out of this?
Could be. It could be set up really well. Baseball is thriving in southeast Iowa for pumping out prospects.
It is, and I'll say for both of the guys who are drafted, I think I might have said this when we originally talked about it. Both of them have big value because Cooper is very good with the glove. He always has been. He always has been an advanced defender at shortstop, and he got so much better at hitter. But that's something. If you got a good glove at shortstop, you got a spot. And then Nate is a tall left-handed power thrower. So those are two things that major. Those are like specialties that baseball teams want. So I like their chances for a long couple of long careers there.
Yeah, hopefully they have one. I literally, if you go on Cooper Schulte's X right now, it is him retweeting a highlight from the St. Lucie Mets of him making a catch where he reached into the dugout and
I
snagged
need to
it.
look.
So
I haven't seen that highlight
there's
yet.
the fielding ability. Um,
He was always. I mean, he played shortstop for New London. Like he was freshman, 8th grade. He was young. I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, this!" And they were a good team at that. They were starting to get good, and all of a sudden, it's like, "Yep, we trust this young kid to be shortstop."
there you go. Um, I'll touch briefly on the while Andy was on the feature beat. I've been on the construction beat, Andy, for some teams that are gonna have some new looks in starting in the fall. Pekin and Waco. I'll start with Waco because their plans are more football coded, and you know you will see them if you go to the Waco football field. They're adding new bleachers and a new press box, which is pretty notable because of course we talked about it on this show back in the spring when that insane freak storm blew through the Waco soccer game. And thankfully everyone was safe and got some actually kind of heroic stories out of that. Um, just a wild moment. And of course, that storm knocked down their what was a makeshift press box. And what has been described to me, I've never been in it, is a very skinny press box, very tight. They're building a new two-story one, and they are planning to have it done by the start of their football season. So
Ooh, that's
freak
soon.
freak weather event in the spring, and now might have a replacement press box already, 2 stories for the fall. So that's very exciting. You know, good for them to get the kind of funding together for that so quickly, and then they're going to add bleachers around that, which I've been told will improve the view. So if you've been at Waco games and you have not liked your view, been told the view will improve with these new set of bleachers that are on the same side as the press box. They're putting the press box in with the old bleachers. They'll take out the bleachers and put the new ones in for the
Those bleachers are
springtime.
pretty low,
That's what
and
yeah. That's what
yeah,
I was
it gets a
told.
little crazy. And
Yeah,
the 8-man field is they're playing a little further out because the sideline isn't as close to bleachers. So
exactly.
you got the cheerleaders. Waco's got one of the bigger mascots as far as like it's just a huge head. So you got a lot to see around.
Yeah, so improved view for them. And then come the winter time, if you're heading over to Pekin High School, and you go in their gym. I guess this applies to fall too. What am I saying with volleyball? But they got
Yeah,
a new gym floor at Pekin, and honestly, I will encourage, if for nothing else, go over to southeastiowaunion.com, click on the story, or Pekin's Facebook, and to just look at the pictures because the new court's pretty sweet. They got over there at Pekin. Put down a new floor. They also got new bleachers in the gym, but the floor, I don't know. I'm curious how you both feel about this with basketball courts. So they went with a black trimmer on the sideline, and then the area between the lane and the 3-point line is also black, and then you got kind of a lighter hardwood in the lane and outside the 3-point line, and then the lines in the block are white, and then that area in between is black. So I know some people don't like the painting the lane or painting that. I don't know what you call it,
oh
the
yeah, I've
space
heard of
between the lane and the 3-point line, the wing, whatever,
the wing, the
the elbow.
elbow
Yeah,
area.
uh, but it looks pretty good, I think, at Pekin. And
I think so too.
yeah, so got the white lines with the black trim. They were very excited about that. They're also I was I was told Pekin has obviously their Panther logo in their gym. There's a million other Panther logos, just like hand drawn, whatever. They apparently were very committed to going uniform. Those have all been scrubbed. It's just the one logo
Ooh.
now. They have the one logo everywhere. They're going uniform with the single Panther logo. So
That's a good thing to do.
there you go.
I remember when New London had like 5 different logos that people use, and they had to have a vote on their
Oh
logo.
wow, yeah. So it
That was like
gets
probably 10 years ago at this point. But you gotta have one that you say is like the logo. You know?
contentious. So there you go. Those are the big construction projects heading into the fall. And then Andy, before we before we talk about our final thing and then kick it to the second segment, I do want to give a shout out to Gio, our news reporter, who stepped in and wrote a sports headline over the weekend celebrating the Washington boys basketball 1986 team, which did a 40th anniversary event in Washington last weekend. Pretty cool event, I was told that from Gio, and he wrote a good story about it. Talked to a bunch of the players. That team, of course, 25-0, won a state title. So they threw up kind of a bigger event at the YMCA to celebrate that and honor those guys. So thank you to Gio for writing that. Go read it. SoutheastIowaUnion.com. It's a good story.
You reading it, you'd think he used to be a sports reporter, Jack.
You would think that, yeah. He has
You
some
think
sort of
that?
background doing that.
Yep, that's
Um,
right.
And then Andy, I can just kick it to you. I have no easy segue into this, but some happenings in Van Buren in the baseball world.
Yes, there's some happenings, a little bit of controversy, well, a lot of controversy in Van Buren baseball. Now, before I talk about this, just know that I wrote what maybe like I guess it took up the whole page because of pictures, but maybe like a 700-word story yesterday that took me like 7 hours because I just haven't kept checking and making sure I got stuff right because there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of words that you're trying to figure out what they mean. So basically, this is what's happening with the Van Buren thing. Okay, their coach right now is Ron Walker. He used to coach Fort Madison and Central Lee, and it was an assistant coach at Van Buren County. He came in this year. Shane Begley was the coach last year, so it was Walker's first year as the head coach at Van Buren County. They went 9-16, which is about what they've done the last 2 years. 3 years ago, they were in the state tournament, one of our most fun runs ever. Actually, one of the more crazy games ever. Van Buren and Mid Prairie. Go back to the newspapers of old and read that. That was a crazy one. Anyway, the last 3 years they've had under 500 record. You know, they had a younger team this year. There was a Facebook post on a Van Buren County fan page that said that he was asked to resign or that they wouldn't renew his contract after they gave him his evaluation. And I think that he had said he hasn't said anything about it except I think he said he was like, yeah, that's true. They're supposed to make a decision by like the 23rd of July or something like that. It's now August 6th. The parents were upset about it and we're like, we need a reason why, and it can't be because of performance and all other stuff. And they've kind of rallied into this big thing where they've been protesting to, to not let this guy go. And a lot of the players seem to be, I can't speak for every player, but any of the five that I saw and heard from yesterday were pro keeping Coach Walker. So they had a meeting that was set up. I was told about like, hey, come to this meeting on August 4th, 2 days ago now. Oh, I didn't even have to say 3 days ago when you're watching this because we're live right now. I was told to come to this meeting August 4th. It was a meeting for the parents and players to talk about it, and they were inviting people from Van Buren School, superintendent, athletic director, and stuff like that. It was at a place to be determined later, and then it became at the school. So it became at the school in the activities room, and then I got there on 2 days ago on the 4th. Took my beautiful drive down to Van Buren County, down to Keosauqua. Beautiful. You go through the small towns, you don't get prettier drives than that. Anyway, it was funny because I was walking in, and a guy was kind of walking out, and he's like, bet they won't let you in. I was like, what? It's like they have to let me in. I was invited. I wasn't invited by the school. I was invited by the parents. So I walked in and I was like, am I not allowed in? And there are a bunch of people out in the hall, and they're like, no, none of us are. It's now closed to only parents or coaches and players, and there are parents and players in there. And from what I heard about the meeting from everyone is the meeting was very calm and cool, and there was not fighting. It was productive is what they said, but they haven't given a decision on the coach thing. Seemed like the feeling of some people walking out of the meeting was like, if no decision means that they're just going to make a decision to make the change. They haven't officially announced who the next coach would be if they don't renew him or what that would look like. So it's very confusing. I wrote the story as well as I can. I haven't had anybody call in and say I said something wrong, which I was completely nervous about because it was such a touchy subject. And I didn't want to say the wrong thing because there are a lot of conflicting parts and no official statements. So basically, Van Buren County doesn't know what they're doing with their baseball program right now, who's going to coach. And we're going to eventually find out, I guess. I mean, it's not that close to baseball season. So who knows how long this could drag out.
Yeah, well said. I mean, yeah, just I guess a situation we'll keep an eye on. And kudos to you for going down and covering that meeting that ended up being a closed meeting, and you kind of just have to fact find from there. And so
Yeah.
yeah, we'll keep an eye on things and see what becomes of it.
fact find is the right word. And there was a lot of discussion. A lot of discussion happened in the parking lot afterwards. Not like a meet me in the parking lot situation, but like we just all happened to be in the parking lot doing
Yes,
interviews.
of course, of course.
So not like yeah, I can count and you can count on me in the parking lot. Shout out to Happy Gilmore, the original. Yeah, that's all I got on that.
There you go. So that's all our reporting of the last week or so. All across a number of different happenings for sports, and we'll take it back to the field in the B block. Talk about some fall sports coming up sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. Stay on the stream. Don't go anywhere.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your healthcare.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
We're back. Southeast Iowa Live. Prep Sports Plus. It's Andy, it's Jack. Peter's on the ones and twos. Peter, there's another live show. I feel like we've had a few of these this offseason. How is this one going for you on your end?
So far, so good. Had some experience with the one a couple weeks ago. So everything's smooth sailing so far. Everything chill.
We've ironed out the kinks, have we?
We have. Yeah.
No talking during the commercial. I think we had that. Did we have that happen once last time?
No.
Didn't we have an Andy chime in when we went to break?
Oh, we had Andy chime in at the
A
end.
little bit.
At the end, he chimed in.
Yeah,
but
good stuff.
It does say computer self-destruct in 10 minutes, but I'm not gonna worry about that.
Yeah, well,
that's fine.
Every computer says that.
It happens.
My
Andy.
computer's gonna need a battery charge probably before the C block too, so I'll probably sneakily. They told me not to move during the show. I might move over to the other wall. Looks a lot.
Peek
like
behind the
this wall.
curtain.
They told me not to move during
They told
the
me not
show.
to move. Mannequin challenge.
Andy, as I am looking at it right now over on the great Bound, the great and glorious Bound, not in our area, but there is fall sports happening today.
Today?
Today. I'm seeing tennis today.
What? That must be. I'm
girls
not sure when
tennis
the official
today.
season starts. Maybe that could be true. Maybe tennis season started today, and technically our teams just don't play until August 10th, my birthday. Happy 36th to myself. But our teams will be playing on August 10th, and I have a trivia question for you, Peter.
Oh, Peter.
Jack.
Oh.
Your name is Peter on the. It says Peter right beside your face.
I thought we were going to make Peter name more
I looked
athletes.
into that. We've talked about it a couple times, but my name is just my first name. I looked into that. I can't change it.
Yeah, here's a peek behind the curtain of our entire company is we're obviously on the Google services, and everyone has their first and last, legal name attached when we got our accounts. Peter, the only one I've seen, only Peter. It's only Peter. No first name, last name.
My parents forgot to write in the last name on the birth certificate, so it's just Peter.
Are you like the kid who did I see recently that someone their middle name is on there and it's ESPN?
Oh yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen that?
There is a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It could be.
His initials are ESPN or his middle name?
His middle name is ESPN.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
Nice.
What's the trivia, Andy?
That reminds me, by the way, that I used to make fun of my cousin because her initials were Jerk, JRK, Jessica Renee Kretzinger, and then we had another kid that was born with JR, and she transferred the nickname. My trivia question is, how many girls do you think are out for Mount Pleasant tennis this year? There's no reason for you to know because you didn't do the tennis the thing that. But I was looking through the Mount Pleasant girls tennis roster. I want you to know they got third place last year, I believe. Average, I think about 500, maybe a little bit below 500. Just take a guess on how many girls are out for tennis.
Third place at state or in the SEC?
Third place in the conference.
Conference.
In the conference.
The reason, I mean, because you're asking makes me think like it's either a lot or like 2 people. I'm going to go 4.
It's higher than 4. Peter, you guess next, and we'll see who gets it.
6.
Higher.
13.
Higher.
16.
Higher.
24.
Higher.
So it was the opposite way.
30.
Oh my goodness.
It's 30. There's 30 girls out
30.
for tennis for Mount Pleasant. I had to like ask people to be like, this isn't right? There's 30 kids. They must have accidentally transferred some of the volleyball kids or something over, or cross country kids. 30 kids out for a girl, at least on the roster that signed up or whatever. So I know that Fairfield already had last year like the girls tennis is all alone. You can do tennis in another sport because it doesn't conflict that much. Last year, Fairfield had enough to where they were trying to get teams that weren't as good to be like, can we just make our game a JV game? We'll play our next 6. Fairfield was last year.
Wow.
Because Fairfield was killing everybody.
Just to get
It's
people
like, we'll play your
games.
next 6. Yeah, just to get people a closer game, and then to get some people wouldn't have to get, beaten. And of course, it's like nobody took them up on it. But so I mean, Fairfield and Mount Pleasant. Let me look at Fairfield's tennis. It seems like this year they're going to be able to play like a marathon of girls tennis. Unless there was, and I would certainly assume there wasn't, unless there was a huge exodus on the Fairfield side. They have Fairfield has 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8 right now. I would bet that's going to be more.
Yeah.
That's probably varsity from last year coming back. The bound thing. But yeah, I mean I looked at the Mount Pleasant bound, and I looked at the roster to remember, like, I think I was just doing it to be like, because I knew the seniors that were gone. I was like, oh, I wonder who will be the next up. And then I was scrolling through and I was like, oh my gosh.
It's a big roster. That's very exciting.
That is exciting. You know what? I wish that I played tennis when I was younger. Tennis is so fun. Oh my gosh.
I'm looking forward to the season. And it's not, I mean, if you go deep into the playoffs, like it is from now until pretty much the end of September. So it will, it'll be a long season, but you will have Fairfield, Mount Pleasant, our 2 area schools. Circle the calendar, August 17th, Monday.
1 week after the first. All right, now I am moving. I apologize, Bailey, if you're watching this. Zach, if you're watching this,
should blur out
my
a screen.
My computer's gonna die. I have to move walls. Apologize to everyone. It was my fault, but really it's the computer's fault. Because if I can complain, Jack, to take the
I like that he
focus off
said he
me-
was going to sneak away, and now is documenting
And then
this
announces
entire
it.
waltz over.
Can't have this. We can't organize religion. Can't be supporting anybody's beliefs. Those are my beliefs.
Oh my God.
I have to plug my thing in. Our computers, and I love that we have work computers. Love them, Jack. Love them. But you when you shut the computer, it's supposed to save battery, but ours just runs. And so then you lift it up, it's like, I'm dead.
Got to turn it all the way off, man.
Like, dude.
So yeah, tennis begins August 10th. Fairfield will play against Keokuk at home. Mount Pleasant will be at Burlington Notre Dame on the road, and then you kind of get right into the thick of the conference tournament. 5 of the 6 SEC teams do have tennis, so Burlington, Fort Madison, and Keokuk being the other 3. Washington is the only school that still does not have girls tennis or boys tennis, actually, for that matter.
Nope,
so
not a tennis school.
neither nor for the Demons. But I mean, we're already barreling toward when you will see the Demons and the rest of our schools, our 1A, 2As, some 8-player if you're talking the football realm, because we're going to have football here very, very soon. I believe Washington, I know scrimmages Muscatine August 21st. So we are headed right for that. And then August 28th, it's right into it with the first week of the football season's volleyball, I believe, starts even earlier than that.
Sure does.
We've got volleyball games. Oh no, never mind. August 29th is kind of the first big
Oh, is
day.
that the Waco tournament this year?
That is the Grinnell invite, at least for the 3A schools. I have not checked on the Waco tournament.
I want to look it up. Waco and Kyoto. They have early tournaments every year. Oh, this is a scrimmage on the 17th. August 24th at Waco High School.
There you go.
Oh, Waco Varsity Quad. That's not a tournament.
It's a quad.
That's a quad. What is this? Are they not doing the tournament?
It's a quadrangular.
They're not doing the tournament this year. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, they've done it every year for the last like 8 years. But there's a quad. Waco and New London going at it with North Cedar and Sigourney. Somebody's gonna get savaged. Is it gonna be our guys or Sigourney? And then Kyoto's tournament is a tournament on August 24th. That was your first volleyball last year.
Was my first anything coverage wise last year, so we're almost all the way full circle.
All the way full circle. I'll tell you what, I am excited. I was doing the previews for fall sports for the magazines and stuff, and I get excited. It's football season. There's a running joke with my family every single year for like 15 years. I've told my wife, like, you know what? I usually don't get this excited, but I'm really pumped for football season this year. Just so she gets annoyed. And it's like, hey, you do that every year. But it's gonna be exciting. I mean, we have a lot of teams to look forward to playing. I think that the football season will have more close games and less blowouts this year. Honestly, I think there's going to be a lot of close games. 3A district and the A district, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I was going through some of the returning leaders on the football field, and it was you've got, I believe Waco and Winfield are both represented on that one in terms of our 8 players. Cody Milks, I think, is one of the top passers back in 8-man. Hayden Shellman of Waco comes back as one of the better rushers. I saw both Blaine Reese and Clayton Evans of Washington on some of the best 3A tackle returners. Ethan Biscard, I think, was on there as well for Fairfield. So, it's just fun to see, the area guys on those lists. And volleyball as well. We've talked about at the 3A level some really good seniors for both Washington, Fairfield, and Mount Pleasant. All have to be, that's how it is. It's always a changing of the guard, but that all 3 of those teams had some exciting younger players last year too.
It is the volleyball, the SEC volleyball. If you look through last year, because I was doing the for the magazines, we'll have like a thing where it has your leading hitters and you're leading, diggers and all that stuff. There were so many seniors last year. It's gonna be it's the new blood this year. People are gonna be making a name for themselves. Like what's his face in the movie? The what's the movie? Wolverine and the other guy, Ryan Reynolds, and then there's the guy who played Magic Mike is in there. And he's like, I'm gonna make a name for myself today. If this wasn't live, Peter could have just put that in there. But they're about to fight, and then he's a superhero. He's like, oh boy, I'm about to make a name for myself.
This isn't Deadpool, is it?
Wolverine and Deadpool.
Wolverine and Deadpool. That's what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
they're gonna
Wolverine
have a big
and
fight.
Ryan Reynolds. So I was like, well.
Oh, you're
Ryan
thinking of
Reynolds.
Channing Tatum? That's the Magic Mike guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. That's who I was. Channing Tatum says it. It's a very funny line. That's what it's gonna be for the young volleyball players this year, because we're gonna have a lot of people that can step up, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it'll be a very fun fall, I think, and we had a state volleyball qualifier last year.
We did.
Could they go back? Could that same school that was also one step from the state football playoffs have a? I was looking back; it was very much the fall. This is going to sound bad. I was going to say the fall of Mid Prairie, but the fall of Mid Prairie in the seasonal sense, had almost had a representative at state in all 3 sports being, we didn't even talk about cross country, where you have, especially among the smaller schools, a lot of good returners. Mid Prairie is always really good.
Yeah.
They had boys and girls state cross country, girls volleyball, or state volleyball, and football 1 game away. So
Can I put you on the spot?
We'll see who it'll be the fall of. I got to come up with something better for that for this year.
The autumn.
The autumn of. There we go.
The autumn of.
Of the Golden Hawks.
Golden Hawks. It was. What are you putting me on the spot about?
I was gonna ask you of all the fall sports teams that we're about to cover, what team do you think has the best chance,
Oh,
even if it's a small chance, of being the state champions?
you know, I don't want to count out anybody, which I was going to ask you a similar question of maybe making a prediction, but gosh, of being a state champion. I mean, cross country, you would need to pick an individual. I think it's so hard to win that competition as a team. No matter how big of a school you are, you just have to have, you know, I look at Columbus got 6th at state in boys cross country last year. They'll be right back up there. Got a bunch of those guys back. And of course Mid Prairie on the girls side. But I think those were our only 2 team qualifiers for state. A lot of schools got really close. So cross country is a little bit an unfair comparison. I'd probably have to go. I got to tell you, I might have to go Mid Prairie volleyball again. They've got an Iowa State commit on their team now. Well, she's on their team again, but now
Georgia,
is an Iowa State volleyball commit.
Oh heck yeah, yeah. I would say honestly, underrated a little bit because they haven't had as up of a year as they are used to. But Mid Prairie cross country. Mid Prairie girls cross country, if they're healthy, is always a threat. I agree with Mid Prairie volleyball. Columbus cross country has been good. I have to remember who's all seniors, and
if we're gonna throw one out on the gridiron, I mean, is it the Panthers' time?
It might be one of the Panthers. I would say that the top 2 might
Either
be Panthers.
Yeah.
Could be Pekin, could be Mount Pleasant. As far as, you know, maybe we haven't had a team at the Dome in like 3 years now. It used to be every year. I mean, it was like, all right, we had Sigourney Kyoto, and then we had New London and Waco and Winfield Mount Union, and it was like, oh, is everybody gonna take a turn at the Dome?
Sigourney Kyoto. What could Fairfield and Washington do? Both those teams absolutely surged toward the end of the year and have some of the best offensive talent back.
The games between, I've said this on a previous show, the games between the 3 big schools this year in football are going to rise to a level as far as intensity, because I think that Mount Pleasant's obviously going to, they're on the up and up. I think Fairfield having Xander Gallison not there and transfer to Pekin, that will hurt them, but they had a lot of positives from last year. And Washington before last year was already above, you know, those 2 teams. So when Mount Pleasant goes into Case Field for the Mount Pleasant at Washington after beating them for the first time in however many years last year, oh, that's going to be an atmosphere. The atmospheres are going to be high this year, I think.
I agree. 2 words: Washington, Mount Pleasant, and Fairfield must-see TV.
Dang it! I was gonna, after you said 2 words, I was gonna do the Charles Barkley thing. I was like, oh, after he does his, I'm gonna do the Charles Barkley. But you did the Charles Barkley. It's a great classic clip.
It's a classic clip. It's more than 2 words. We'll head to one more short break. When we come back, we'll sign things off for the program. Don't go anywhere.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, you know, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your healthcare.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Welcome back to Prep Sports Plus, Southeast Iowa Live. We are wrapping up another edition. We are getting one step closer to fall sports. Andy, I will say goodbye to the people with a teaser. I'm excited to write a story where I'll be Friday and Saturday for some portion of the day. Because you talked about Case Field. I will be at Case Field. I'm going to do a
yes.
story about a little tradition over at Washington. I'm not going to reveal much more than that. You'll have to stay tuned.
Oh, what a teaser. I do want to say that you just reminded me because you said the word Case Field. It reminds me that I drove by Case Field and got the football antsies. And then I remembered, why did I drive by Case Field the other day? Because I was on the way to the golf course. Jack, do you want to say anything about us? We had a golf showdown last week.
That's a good point. Him and I did play golf. I beat Andy by 1 stroke.
1 stroke. I missed the game tying putt.
Missed the game tying putt on the 9th green. I did not really love how I golfed. I think I could be a lot better. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, mine too. We hit hilarious amount of trees and
A lot of
bridges.
had like a lot of comical, like more comical ricochets than I'm used to. Like I had one that I've never had. I'm not saying I'm good at golf, but I've never had the one that like straight up hits off a tree and like you're behind where you shot originally. Like I had one of those on the first hole, and I knew then right there that it was going to be a rough day.
If we brought Peter out to tape the first hole of our game, the first hole was
The reel would have done well.
insanity.
The
real
Union
would've done well.
Masters.
That was an insane first hole.
Oh, the Union Area That would
The
be
Union
fun.
Area Masters.
The Southeast Iowa Union
the Jack
Masters.
Masters.
The PSP Masters.
That'd be fun.
Right.
We would do it at some point.
We should do
Shout
the
out-
Masters.
shout out
That'd
to
be fun.
Washington
Does
Golf and
Geo-
Country
does Geo
Club.
Golf?
Oh, we could make Peter golf for that. We'll do it.
Yeah, Peter Golf. Does
Yeah.
Geo?
I'll be the handicap if anyone's playing too well. I can step in and play.
Oh, sure.
You're gonna play too well.
Shout out
Nero's
to
got a par. Did you get a par, Jack?
Yep. I parred hole 3, I think.
I didn't get a par.
Or hole 2. Put it right on the green on
Difference
hole
in the
2.
game.
Shout out to
Difference in
Washington
the
Golf and Country Club. Shout out to Wartburg, future golfer Drew Conrad, who advised us on our games.
Yep, he sure did. Shout out. Yeah, we gotta do it. We gotta do that. Golf is just so stinking fun.
It was fun. It's a good
We
time.
should have the players caddy for us during a video in the spring.
They can just make fun of us.
They could be on the. I bet we could get a couple of golfers on the call.
Probably.
Maybe have like a live broadcast.
Yeah. Have them film it. Peter can manage 18 cameras on every hole, 2 cameras for nine holes of golf.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey,
No
we
problem.
need 18 cameramen.
Yep.
Don't forget drone camera.
Yep. Over the top. You got to pump in the
We'll
bird
get someone a propeller hat and they'll start flying.
You got to pump in the bird noises.
Mm-hmm. I'll make my own bird noises.
Oh.
Yeah, do that one. What's my favorite bird sound like?
Classic.
Oh, I have a quick thing to say for everyone looking for a little. Football's not here yet. You need a little. I'm gonna plug something that has nothing to do with us.
The Hall of
Ready?
Fame game?
But I have to Google it to make sure it's not started yet, because I want to guarantee you guys something. I've been getting into the Little League Softball World Series. There are 2 games on today. Everybody watch them. North Carolina versus Florida, and
Tar Heels
Latin
and
America
Gators.
versus Kentucky. I'm telling you guys, those are Clash of the Titans softball games. I've watched those teams just wreck through. This Florida softball team has the best lineup I've ever seen in the Little League World Series. Now I haven't really watched a lot of Little League World Series softball, but North Carolina's pitcher is amazing. It's going to be a showdown. Everybody watch that today.
That sounds sensational.
It is sensational.
Sensational.
I'm first to a lot of this stuff. Not to brag, but a lot of times I'm first to a lot of the stuff where I'll start tuning in. I'll get my brain onto something before it becomes popular. I'm telling you, this next few days you're going to hear a lot about the Little League Softball World Series because there's going to be some epic games coming up.
There you go.
And NFL football starts today.
Getting chippy.
Technically, not
Is the
technically,
Hall of
but
Fame game on
technically.
today?
Hall of
It's
Fame game.
today.
Who plays in the Hall of Fame game?
It's the Panthers and the Cardinals.
I need to look at the Bucks preseason. We got to watch for Henry Lutowski on the 14th in New York.
New
Bucks
York
Jets.
City.
There you go. Watch all the things and watch us next week. Prep Sports Plus Southeast Iowa Live. We see you same darn time, same darn channel. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.